This week I'm going to show you several recipes that come together super quick and use less than 6 ingredients for each recipe. They're super budget friendly too, really delicious, great for picky eaters, and super easy to modify with whatever you have on hand. So let's get started. These taquitos are one of my absolute favorites. They do use rotisserie chicken, but you can modify that with any protein that you like. You can do tofu, beans, ground beef, whatever it is that you want to use for this. And then we're going to be using tortillas. Any kind of tortilla or wrap will work for this. I'm using Monterey Jack cheese, but you can use any cheese that you like, or a vegan cheese, anything really that you like. Cream cheese, and any cream cheese will work for this too. And then your favorite salsa. I like medium chunky salsa from Aldi, but choose your favorite. That's the most important part, your favorite salsa for this. And then I am using some seasonings, but they're easy to modify and substitute with whatever you have on hand. You can do taco seasoning instead. Whatever you've got, we're just gonna make it work. So let's get started. First, I'm gonna add 2 blocks of cream cheese that I've softened. And I'm gonna go ahead and give those a mash, so that way they're already a little bit more spread out. So it's easier to mix when we add all the other ingredients. And this is a double batch, so I'm gonna add about 6 cups of cooked chicken. You could also use rotisserie chicken if you like. Next, I'm gonna add about 3 cups of shredded cheese altogether. Next, I'll add 1 cup of salsa. Just use your favorite salsa. That's the most important part about this. Next, I'll add in 2 teaspoons of cumin, 2 teaspoons of garlic powder, 2 teaspoons of onion powder, and 2 teaspoons of chili powder. I'm not adding any salt or pepper because there's plenty of seasonings in the chicken and the cheese, but you could definitely add salt and pepper if you like. And normally I use lime juice, but I have these homegrown lemons, so I'm gonna go ahead and use this instead. So I'm adding about 1/4 cup of lime or lemon juice. Now I'm just gonna give this a good mix until everything is combined. This is the part that takes the longest because the cream cheese does take a little bit of time to really mix together. So just be patient, trust the process, it will come all together. All right, now that it's all mixed together, I can start rolling everything up. These are fresh tortillas. I just went ahead and prepped these so they're ready to go, but if you have just regular tortillas, you can warm them up in the microwave or on the stovetop just to make them easier to roll up. And I always like to label my bag too to make sure I know how to cook everything, or if someone else is grabbing it out of the freezer, they know what to do. So I put all my instructions in the label, and you can date them too. Now you can put as much or as little filling in these as you want. I usually like to do about 2 tablespoons to 1/4 cup, depending on how big I'd like my taquitos. And that's really gonna depend on what size tortillas you like to use for this. Mine are actually flour tortillas, so technically they're flautas. Then we'll just roll them up like this, and then we'll put them straight in the bag, and that way they'll be ready to go for later. There we go. And now we'll just keep rolling them all up until we've got them all filled. And there we go, that's our first bag of taquitos. I'll just pop those in the freezer. And there's my second bag of taquitos, and that's it. So they're all ready to go. Just gonna throw them in the freezer, and we're gonna have lots of dinner options over the next few months. So I have a lot of random veggies I need to use from the crisper drawer before they go bad. So I'm gonna use celery and carrots, plus some onion. You can use red or white, yellow onion, whatever you have on hand will work for this. I've got some bone broth that's gonna expire pretty soon, so I'm gonna go ahead and use that as well. Plus some rotisserie chicken from the freezer, but you can use any cooked meat, any protein. Honestly, any other kind of meat that you wanna cook in this pot as well, that'll work great. Plus some cannellini beans for extra fiber and flavor and texture. You can use any white beans for this, so that'll work great, or you can skip the beans if you don't like that. And for seasonings, we're just gonna do a basic Italian seasoning, or you can use any kind of other seasonings that you have, bay leaves, thyme. We might add a few things here and there. Just use whatever you have on hand. Put this on medium heat. We're gonna add in a little bit of olive oil. Any oil or butter will do for this. Now we'll add in our onion. Now we're gonna add in some celery. Yep, there you go. Now we're gonna add in some carrots. We're just gonna saute this until it's nice and soft. It's gonna take probably about 4 or 5 minutes. Now we're gonna add our cooked chicken. And you can use any meat for this. If you need to cook it because it's not cooked yet, you can do that now. Ours is already cooked, so that's great. We're gonna add our drained and rinsed white beans. Okay, good job. Now we're gonna add our bone broth, and we're just gonna add all of it. All of it? Mm-hmm. Now we're gonna add some Italian seasoning, maybe about a tablespoon or so. Let's add some paprika. There we go. Now we're just gonna let this cook. I'm gonna bring this to a simmer, and then we might add a little bit more liquid and more seasonings. I'm gonna go ahead and add a little bit of water. Now, if you didn't have broth, you could use water and bouillon, or you could use water and drippings if you had some on hand. All right, let's add some salt, a little bit of black pepper too. The reason why we're not adding a bunch of salt is because that broth we put in here has salt already. So we don't want to make it too salty. Now that it's simmering, we're going to go ahead and give it a taste and see if I need to add any other seasonings. That tastes absolutely delicious. So I'm just going to leave it like that, but you can definitely add any seasonings or spices that you like to make it your own. We're just going to let it simmer for a few minutes and really deepen the flavors. And then we'll serve it up with some crusty toast or bread or something like that. It's going to be really delicious. This really turned out amazing. It tastes so delicious and so simple, just a few ingredients. And that's it, dinner served. So tonight I'm going to be making something similar to a pinwheel or a wrap. You can make it any way that you like it though. These are the ingredients I'm going to use, and this is just a base recipe, so really you can just modify it to make it your own. I'm going to be using some leftover deli meat, cream cheese I'm going to soften, some buttermilk ranch, but you can use any kind of condiment that you want to do, any kind of seasonings, whatever kind of flavor you want to go for with this, that's what you're going to use. Then some shredded cheese. I have cheddar, but you can use any cheese that you like. Then some tortillas. These are fresh tortillas that I'm going to go ahead and cook up on the stovetop. You can use any kind of tortillas or any kind of wrap. A spinach wrap would work really well. A low carb wrap. Anything that you want to do will work really good for this. Plus, I'm going to be using some seasonings. I'm going to go ahead and use some sriracha seasoning, but you can use anything that you love, any kind of flavor you want, even something like pickle seasoning. Just go all out, just any kind of flavors that you want to do for this. So let's get started. So I've split my block of cream cheese into 2 different portions so I can try different flavors. And I'm just going to go ahead and give it a quick little smush here. And to this first one, I'm going to add some buttermilk ranch dressing. And you can use the dry mix as well, whatever you want to do. And I'm going to be adding some spicy sriracha seasoning. And these seasonings are all optional. I just wanted to add some for flavor. So let's give this a mix. Now, if you don't have any condiments and you just have seasonings, you can just put whatever seasonings you want and then maybe add a little bit of milk to, you know, sort of get it a little bit thinner. And what's great about this recipe is it's really easy to modify. All right, so that's done. So I'll set this aside while I make the other flavor. Now for this next little block of cream cheese, I'm also going to be adding some buttermilk ranch, just like I did with the first one. And this is really to add some flavor, but also to help with the consistency. And I'm going to be using this dill pickle seasoning for the next one. So let's add a good amount of that in here, and then we'll give that a stir as well. All right, perfect. So that's all mixed up. I'll set that aside. Now I'm using fresh tortillas that I've made on the griddle right now, but you can use any kind of tortillas that you have for this. So first I'm going to just spread some of our mixture here. Next I'll add some shredded cheese, and you can mix this cheese into the cream cheese if you'd like it to, you know, get mixed in a little bit more. Then I'll add a couple of slices of deli meat. You can do any kind of deli meat that you like for this. So I'm just going to be doing turkey this time. And then if you want, you can add any vegetables you want, some lettuce, cucumbers, anything that you love for this. Let's add one more slice. Add one more slice of turkey here. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and just start rolling this up really tightly. There we go. And then I'll let this sit in the refrigerator for at least 30 minutes before I slice it. And next I'll do the same thing. First I'll spread on my dill pickle mixture. Then I'll add some shredded cheese. And this time I'm using oven roasted chicken. There we go. And I'm just gonna roll this up really tightly. And then I'll refrigerate it for at least 30 minutes. And then I'll just continue doing that until everything is all rolled up. Even a lentil wrap would be incredible for this. And if you don't want to eat meat, you can also do any kind of protein that you like for this, and it would be incredible. You can even just do it just veggies or whatever you want to do for this. It's kind of like a raid the fridge recipe. And if you don't want to wait for the slicing, you can serve this as a wrap. It's a great meal prep though, so you can, you know, prep this the day before and have it ready to go in the fridge. Here we go, and see you in about 30 minutes. All right, it's been 30 minutes. I'm gonna go ahead and give this a slice. I'm gonna cut off the ends, and then we'll just slice it as thick or as thin as you want. And it'll get us these beautiful little pinwheels that are perfect for dipping or serving as appetizers. You could obviously just eat this as a wrap if you want. I'm going to add some leftover lettuce on top of mine, just to help clean out the fridge a little bit more. Here we go. I'm gonna go ahead and add a slice of cucumber on top too. Go, gotta get my veggies. There we go, and you can serve it with some dipping sauce, and that's it. Dinner served. This morning I'm gonna make a really easy breakfast sandwich. I'm just gonna use English muffins, some eggs, Canadian bacon, which is optional, and some sliced cheese. Any cheese will do for this. Plus, if you don't have English muffins, you can use bagels, or if you want, you can even just make a wrap with tortillas if that's what you have on hand. So I'm just gonna make it super easy, and I'm just gonna season with salt and pepper. So first, I'm just gonna scramble my eggs a little bit. I just like to put them in these little containers so they're separated. And I'll season my egg with just a little salt and pepper and give that a quick little mix. I'm just gonna scramble it just a little bit. Now I have this fancy machine, but you can definitely just do this on the stove top by scrambling the eggs, and then you can toast your English muffins and cook the Canadian bacon if you like, and just assemble. And these sandwiches cost about $1 or so, especially if you don't do meat, it's even less expensive. These are really great to freezer meal prep too, and individually wrap them in parchment paper and just cook them from frozen in the microwave. It works great. So first I'm just gonna start by putting my English muffins down on the bottom here. I'll add the meat. And you can use any kind of meat you have. If you have deli, deli ham or deli turkey, or any kind of meat really, or no meat. A lot of times I do it without meat. And I'll add the egg on top. And then a slice of cheese and the tops of the English muffins. And then I'll just close that and cook it for about 5 minutes. All right, see you in 5. Just gonna lift this top part when it beats, okay? All right, there it is. Perfect. So now we're just going to move this over. See?
Oh, we don't with the sandwiches?
Yep, and then we'll move this part over like that.
Oh, cute.
Aren't they cute?
Wedges, sandwiches.
Yeah. Oops. All right, put this up. There we go, breakfast sandwiches. Yay.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah, isn't that cool?
Yeah.
That's it. This is your breakfast sandwich for breakfast today. And then you can just let these cool in the refrigerator and wrap them and freeze them individually. It's super easy. So delicious too. And by the way, these are dishwasher safe pieces. And then I'm just gonna wipe that off to make it clean. And
Wait, you
that's
can,
it. Yeah, isn't that cool? There we go, all clean. We're gonna be making something really basic. You may recognize what's happening here. We're just gonna have a basic taco night, but I'm gonna show you a couple of variations here and some modifications depending on what you have on hand. All right, so I'm just gonna heat my stainless steel pan until it's nice and hot, and that's how I test to make sure it's ready. I'm gonna put my ground beef in here, and then we will add some other ingredients. While this is browning, I am just going to season this with my homemade taco seasoning, and I'll put the recipe down below for you to make it any way that you like, or use any seasoning you have on hand. And I'm just gonna wait until the one side is seared nicely, and then I'll turn it so it gets nicely caramelized on the one side, I guess. That's what you might say. All right, now that my ground beef is completely cooked through, I'm just gonna add a little bit of water. That's just gonna make it a little bit saucy. Now I'm just gonna cook my taco shells just like it says on the instructions. We're just gonna pop these in the oven at 325 degrees for 6 to 7 minutes or so until they're nice and crispy. If you don't have taco shells though, you can make something with tortillas if you have those on hand. You can just make a tortilla bowl really easily if you have a oven-safe bowl. You're just gonna grease it with some butter. You can use a little oil too. This just makes sure that it doesn't stick. And then we're gonna set our flour tortilla on top. And I'll brush a little bit of water just to make sure it doesn't burn. And then I'm just gonna have a ball here made out of foil. Just gonna put a foil ball right in the middle there to keep that from lifting up when I bake it. I'm just gonna bake it at 350 degrees for about 10 to 15 minutes or until it's nice and crispy. All right, the tortilla bowl is done. It's nice and crispy on the edges, and you can make this as crispy as you like. We're just gonna take this little ball out of here. There we go. And using this bowl, you can make a taco salad. So you can add in your lettuce, this, and any veggies that you have on hand. So you can use some bell peppers. If you have a can of beans, you could definitely add that. Black beans or chili beans work really good for this. Then you'll add some taco meat. You can add really anything you want. Greek yogurt, sour cream, and of course some cheddar cheese. Then you can add salsa, hot sauce, whatever you want. And that's it. Dinner served. And if you're using the crunchy taco shells, obviously just put whatever you want in there. Any veggies you have on hand, shredded cheese, the taco meat. You can do some sour cream or Greek yogurt, salsa, even using the leftover sauce packets from a time you went for a takeout. That will work great too. Whatever you have on hand, just use it and enjoy. I never buy hot cocoa mix from the store anymore because it's so easy just to throw together. So let me show you the recipe. So first I add 1 cup of powdered sugar or confectioner's sugar. And what's nice about this is you can use any sweetener that you like and really make this your own. You can use as much sweetener or as little sweetener as you like to. So it's really easy to modify. Next I'll add in 1/2 cup of unsweetened cocoa powder. And it's just this one here that you use for baking. Next, I'm gonna add some instant dry milk. I found this non-fat dry milk, but you can use any dry milk that you find. They do have some at the warehouse stores too in big containers, so you can get that kind. And I think it's a little over 1 cup or so of instant dry milk. So again, non-fat, whole milk, whatever you can find will work for this. And now the recipe that I found uses a little bit of cornstarch, so you can add about a teaspoon or so of cornstarch. That just helps make sure that it's nice and creamy and rich, but that is totally optional. I also like to, oops, well that's not where that goes. Plus I also like to add about 1/2 teaspoon of kosher salt just to make the sweetness come out a bit more, but again, that's optional too. And then I'll just put my lid on and give this a shake. And that is it, homemade hot cocoa mix. I usually like to use about 2 tablespoons to 1/4 cup per 12 ounce of milk or hot water, whichever you like to use. You don't have to use milk. I just like to use milk because it makes it a little bit more rich. You can also add any kind of, chocolate morsels or melt any kind of chocolate in it too. And that's it. So this will last on the shelf for a really long time, but it's about, I think, 9 servings or so, give or take, just depending on how much you put in your milk or water. And that's it, super easy, only took me just a couple minutes. So I'll add my hot milk or hot water to my cup. I'm gonna spill a bunch first though, because that's just how we do it. Oh my gosh. Clean it up, clean it up. Then I'm gonna add about 2 tablespoons to 1/4 cup, just depending on how sweet I'd like it. This is only, I think, a 12 ounce mug, so I'll probably add just a little bit less than I normally do, and then I'll just give it a mix. Then I'm gonna add in some marshmallows for myself, but those are obviously optional, or you can do whipped cream. And then that's it, a perfect cup of cocoa. It's so delicious. I hope you love it. I hope you enjoyed this video and at least got a little inspiration for some things to try in your home. And I'd love to hear it if you've tried any of these recipes in this video, because they really turned out amazing. And I really hope that you enjoy them. So make sure you leave any recipes or suggestions in the comments below, because I'm always looking for more recipes, more ideas, any ways that you might modify the things I shared in this video. I would love that. And YouTube thinks that you'd like to watch another video. So if you have time today, go ahead and click on that, enjoy it, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.